If you missed anything from Monday Night Raw this week, don't worry about it. I got you. It's about that time for a huge Raw recap, where the night got started off with AJ Styles talking about how he does not want to end his career on Saturday. He wants to go on a whole 2026 retirement tour, just like John Cena did last year, and maybe even get another run at the championship. He was then immediately interrupted by the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, who came down to the ring here. And Punk simply told AJ here, hey man, if you end up losing to Gunther on Saturday, then we don't end up having a match here in WWE, and I don't want that to happen. With both men then coming to the conclusion that, hey, why don't we just have this match here tonight? And you know what? If we're going to do it, why don't we just do it for the World Heavyweight Championship? And just like that, we had our main event for the night set, CM Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles. We then went right into 6-woman tag team action with the Judgment Day taking on Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Stephanie Vaquer, where Io Sky really put on one hell of a performance, and I feel like I say this every week, and I do, because she's the best wrestler in WWE right now, hands down. But I do gotta say, Judgment Day were up for a lot of this match here, and the chemistry between Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez is coming along really well. And I will say there were a couple of scary moments with Stephanie Vaquer here, although I do think she was just selling the injury and she wasn't really as hurt as she was playing. But in the end, it was Rhea Ripley hitting a riptide on Roxanne Perez and picking up the 1-2-3 dub here. And this was a really fun match here, and these 6 women have some great chemistry together, so I would recommend going back and watching this one for sure. We then went backstage where Finn Balor told CM Punk that last week was one of the greatest moments of his career, even though he didn't win the World Heavyweight Championship, and he wanted to thank Punk for that. To which Punk said, you know what, I really appreciate that, but at the same time, I'm not giving you another shot at this World Heavyweight Championship unless you win the Royal Rumble, and maybe you should start surrounding yourself with better people than the Judgment Day. It was then time for the Vision to make their way down to the ring to officially confront Adam Pearce here about Braun Breaker's suspension, with Heyman setting the scene by reminding everybody that Pearce wrongfully suspended Braun Breaker a couple of weeks ago, and he also got involved in a match last week involving the Vision, before making way for Adam Pearce to come on down to the ring here and defend himself. But I gotta be honest, Adam Pearce was kind of just giving the Vision everything they wanted. I mean, he not only reinstated Braun Breaker here, but he put him in the Royal Rumble alongside Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory. But he did turn his attention over to Austin Theory and tell him, hey Theory, I'm sorry I got involved in your match last week, and you know what, you could have beat Rey Mysterio, so you're about to get a rematch right now. At which point Rey Mysterio, accompanied by Dragon Lee and Penta, came down to the ring, and this match started immediately. And Rey was in control early on, with the Vision looking a little bit in disarray as Michael Cole kept talking about how maybe there could be a little dissension in them once we get to the Rumble match. But there was no dissension on this night, because it was the Vision's distraction on the outside of the ring that allowed Theory to hit the stomp on Rey Mysterio and pick up the 1-2-3 dub in this one. It was after the match though where things really got going, because the Vision were absolutely whooping on Penta, Rey, and Dragon Lee, as everybody was hitting their finishers here, and Braun Breaker hit a bunch of spears on everybody. Natty, don't call her Natalia, then cut a vignette here talking about how Maxine Dupree was a disappointment to her as a trainer, talking about how she's going to put Maxine back in her place, and then she's going directly for that Intercontinental Championship. Raquel Rodriguez then found herself almost having an issue with Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, but she said, you know what, I got better things to deal with right now than you two. I gotta find Adam Pearce. Instead though, she found these hands from Stephanie Vaquer, who hit her with a sneak attack here and started beating the absolute hell out of Raquel. Now these two would be separated here, but that wouldn't be the end for these two. No, they got some more coming for you. For now though, we would go to a sit-down interview between Michael Cole and Gunther, where he was gloating about how he's going to be retiring AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble on Saturday, so he can once again retire a past their prime legend who's holding on by a thread here, who's stealing moments that should be Gunther's. Even turning his attention to Michael Cole and saying, hey Michael, how much longer do you think you're going to be sitting behind that broadcast booth? What are you chasing, one more great moment? Letting him know that Saturday at the Royal Rumble is going to be that moment, as he gets to call the end of AJ Styles' phenomenal career. We then went backstage once again to Adam Pearce, who was on the phone, probably with the same person he was on the phone with last week, and he was being a good little GM for them. And as soon as he hung up that phone call, Finn Balor showed up looking for a spot in the Royal Rumble, but Pearce said, I'm sorry Finn, all 30 spots are taken and you already got your title match last week, before getting out of there and making way for Liv Morgan to come in here, and she was just looking at Finn and saying, you're going to let CM Punk disrespect you and your family like that? Because Judgment Day is your family, don't get it mixed up. It was time to go back out to the ring though for some action here, as we got a fatal 4-way tag team match for the #1 contendership for the World Tag Team Championships. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the Creed brothers. They haven't been in a match and I can't remember how long on WWE TV, but they were able to put on an absolute show out there tonight. And speaking of putting on a show, so did Akira Tozawa, who went out there and fired up at one point in this match and was doing dives to the outside. I mean, this man is entertaining entertaining, and he can go in the ring, and I'm glad he's getting the opportunity to show it. And we are going to get more of an opportunity to see Tozawa and Otis because they went on to pick up the 1-2-3 dub in this match and become your #1 contenders to take on the Usos for the World Tag Team Championships. We then had Becky Lynch declare herself as a participant for the Royal Rumble match on Saturday before doing a great segment here with Asuka and Kairi Sane hyping up the match. It was hilarious. Go check it out. In addition to Stephanie Vaquer going right up to Adam Pearce and letting him know that she wants to defend the Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodriguez next week, and he said, sure, why not in a street fight? And finishing off our backstage tour here was Logan Paul getting the Vision on the same page here when they get into the Royal Rumble match, because they got one true vision, and that's making Braun Breaker the winner of the Royal Rumble match this year. And we would get one more entrant here for the Royal Rumble match announced through a vignette, and that would be none other than Oba Femi. And with that, it was finally time for the main event here with CM Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles. And just seeing these two proper icons of professional wrestling over the past 25 years in the ring together one last time was absolutely incredible. And give these guys credit because they put on a great match here. It was a full-on brawl, and they were beating the hell out of each other. And the near falls they were getting at the end of this match were absolutely magical. I mean, the crowd was locked into this, and they had them in the palm of their hands. I can't believe they did what they did next, because there was no clean finish here. Finn Balor came in the ring and drop-kicked Punk into the corner, and AJ went on out of the ring, and that was it for AJ's involvement in the night. And Balor would go on to hit Punk with coup de grace after coup de grace after coup de grace and leave Punk laying in the middle of the ring, standing tall to finish off Monday Night Raw.